What is going on, everyone? It is I, Famincho. I am joined by Phenom Sage right here, my good friend Matthew.
Heyo.
It's been a complicated day. We had the, the PS5, PlayStation 5 Showcase earlier today. The reaction is up on the channel. You can check it out. It's also on Twitch if you want to check it out.
Oh, the full reaction is up?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And we have some things to say about it. I know these are kind of late thoughts, but I kind of wanted to have things permeate before I spoke about them. There's a lot to talk about. What do you want to tackle first, just in regards to the showcase and even after the showcase? I feel like there's more to talk about after the showcase.
I think my hat says what I want to tackle first, baby.
Let's go.
Final Fantasy XVI announced. It's classic fantasy. The Devil May Cry 5 combat director is on it.
That's
helmed by Yoshi P, the man who saved Final Fantasy XIV. And like, apparently, I haven't played 14, but apparently has like legendary stories. Just so cool that he's on board with that, while the other people are with 7 Remake Part 2. And it just looks like, I feel like this game might legitimately be M-rated. Like, I feel like this might be the first M-rated Final Fantasy game that unless there's something I'm not thinking of, but I think this is
of Cerberus in?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, yeah.
I think this has always been a T or even like E-rated franchise.
Yeah, with like Crystal Chronicles and stuff. It's been, those are baby games.
And it looks pretty wild to me.
It does. I definitely got like, it sounds cheap to say, but like it definitely got a Witcher vibe, man. Just how like dirty everything was. Like it wasn't like clean fantasy. It wasn't like, look at these white castles and
that's actually
princesses.
What I was kind of wanting clean fantasy, but I'm completely, any kind of fantasy is cool with me.
Yeah,
after,
like it looks muddy. There's like mud, it's raining, it's dark. There's a lot of blood.
Yeah, brutal.
Some gore. Kids are like, there's one kid has like blood all over his face. He's like crying tears of blood. That's really interesting. I'm curious, like, man, I'm curious, like, what kind of story are they telling here? Like, what is this? Like, it feels so alien, but technically this is what Final Fantasy usually is. Like, this is the precedent, and the future games are not, like 15 and 13 and 7 Remake and all that. But this is awesome. I loved this trailer. I haven't watched the 4K one yet. The one without horrible compression. Anything that's like picking up on you? Like anything that you think is interesting besides
like visually or story wise?
Just like the game wise. Like you have any idea of like how hyped are you? Like why are you hyped for this game aside from it just being FF16?
I'm just like we were talking about. I'm excited for classic fantasy. I'm excited for like possibly a more mature take on Final Fantasy, like a mature, like not to say that Final Fantasy hasn't gotten mature. Like it's gotten pretty dark in lots of previous games. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time, by the way, along with Legend of Zelda. So I have experience with every single one of them. I love every single one of them. It's definitely a series that I'm excited to see how they innovate on what they've had before. And like we were talking about before, like how this game being in development alongside FF7 Remake Part 2, how they will distinguish these two games. Like obviously now we see the setting alone is already visually a pretty big distinction between the two. But
what about gameplay though? Like how is yeah. Because you have that combat director working on it. That's
Devil May Cry 5. Like that's probably going to be a very different. Like even though they're both action-oriented RPGs, it's probably going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, like I'm curious, like how much of DMC are we getting? And like, are we gonna have a launching attack? Are we gonna? Is there combos now? Like, is it gonna go? How deep is it gonna go into the action realm?
I hope it goes deep.
We see this really cool spell. Something I do remember in the trailer. We see this fire spell, and he shoots a fireball, but then he like turns into the fireball, and then like does like a warp similar to like Noctis when he like throws his sword or whatever. But it was like
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
There's so many like quick cuts of gameplay. I think he's when he's fighting the Marlboro or whatever. There's like a lot of like fire being thrown. Characters story-wise, I'm seeing some interesting elements. Like the Final Fantasy series has always had to do with typically the two things that you see among most Final Fantasies. Maybe not all, but a lot of them are you've got crystals and you've got Eidolons, and I'm seeing both of them in this trailer. Prominently.
And the thing with the thing with the Eidolons is that, from what I can tell, I think that kid that you see with like the blood on his face, I think that kid either is an Eidolon or he has like one inside of him or something. And I mean, you see other ones, like you see Shiva and Titan.
He's like the dagger, is what you mean? Like he's the one that's gonna like...
Either like a dagger kind of character or like maybe something a little bit darker where like he involuntarily turns into an Eidolon.
Oh,
and
okay,
like,
yeah, that'd be sick.
Because you see that happen in the trailer. And there's probably other ones. And then you have this main character, like a knight or something, who's like probably alongside him. And story just looks wild. It's probably gonna be cool.
It looks really wild. I think that's sort of... I mean, this is the first time we've seen a Final Fantasy game in a long time where like I see, not ambition, I see drive. Everything feels very intentional, where like, you know, FF15 was originally 13 verses, and that we never really even knew what that was, to be honest with you. And 13...
It never really came to fruition. Like,
yeah.
15, like, went through a lot of problems, and then, like, the story itself kind of feels... it feels like it was really struggling to reach the finish line, and
yeah.
you can tell in the way that it kind of is disjointed and uneven.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that this game is going to have like a flawless story or anything like that, but I think that like judging by the trailer alone, it's like, oh, they have something to say with this game. Like it feels like they're doing this for a reason. Like
I'm hopeful because people like I've heard unironically, like I've heard that like some of the stories in FF14 and the expansions are like some of the best stories in the entire franchise.
Yeah. And you see a lot of it definitely looks, if I had to compare it to any Final Fantasy, I'd probably compare it to like those crazy CG trailers we got for 14 with like the emo dude with like a beard or whatever, like that kind of stuff.
Looks like him.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. There's like are we seeing this next year? Do you think that's a possibility? Do we see this before Remake Part 2?
No, this game is absolutely not coming out next year, but Yoshida did say the next update will be next year. I have a feeling it might not be as long as like the usual Square Enix wait times are. Like I watched that trailer, I'm like, this looks kind of like far in development right now.
They've been definitely, it's been in development for a couple of years for sure. Like we're seeing very clear-cut gameplay, like the visuals don't look weird. Like it looks like the game has been worked on, like you said. God, I'm just super excited.
2022.
A Final Fantasy 2022 feels safe, and then maybe a 2023 for Remake Part 2. That seems likely as well. I'm excited. I just, even in it being exclusive to PS5 is also very interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's really, really wild to me. For like a creator standpoint, like, you know, the development of this game, being able to take advantage of an SSD. I know people are saying this already, but no loading times in a Final Fantasy, that sounds amazing. Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, in terms of like traveling around and things like that. I mean, is this game going to be open world? Like, what are we doing in this game? What's the day-to-day?
I kind of hope it's not open world.
I think it will be too. I honestly do. The one thing I did get from that trailer was ambition. Like, look at this big world.
And like all the like fights you see, it's kind of on a big open plain kind of location. Yeah.
I'm okay with like open linear, hopefully, where it's like it is open, but there's like
God of War style.
Yeah, God of War style, or
cool.
Aspects of 15 were kind of like that, but they kind of jumped the shark a little bit. Yeah. What do we see after that? I don't even have the list. We weren't prepared for this discussion. I just got home from work. We're just talking. That's basically it. So
after FF16, we jumped right into Miles Morales, and looks pretty good. Looks good. Looks exactly what I would expect it to look like. But like, I'm digging it. What I will say is that like going into this presentation, I was like, I'm probably not picking it up. And right now, I'm like, I might pick it up. Like it looks like I enjoyed Spider-Man PS4, like not to the point where I'm like, I need an expansion right now, but like I enjoyed it to the point where I see this gameplay trailer. I would have liked a little bit more story beats in this trailer. It seemed like they were like really zoning in on action and gameplay. Yeah. I know that's what people want, but like I really wanted to get more, because I know what Spider-Man plays like. I don't really need to see too much of that, but I think they'll do some cool stuff with Miles' as a character. Really cool. The music they're using for his battles now, like you got some hip hop influences in there. Like
it's trap beats going on. Yeah, that was sick. combat camera looked excellent. Like just some of those like they.
Oh yeah, the slow-mo.
They did even better with it. Like I think the original had that stuff too, but they went like crazy with it. It feels a lot more stylistic, I guess, with what they're doing. But again, if my excitement, only stems from the story itself. Like it's set 1 year after the previous game. I'm curious, like, where's Peter? What's going on? Like, why is this Spider-Man alone right now? Like, are they going to have answers for that, or is it just like, you're playing as Miles now? Who cares? I want those answers, and that's kind of.
I think there will be some like something along the lines of like
Peter's
why
on vacation.
Peter isn't in the story. It might not be a huge deal, or maybe, just maybe, it might tie into Spider-Man 2.
So my prediction is Peter's in Europe looking for Harry. Because he thinks that Harry's alive. Spoiler alert.
He thinks Spider-Man 2 will be set in Europe? Like,
maybe his sequences in Europe, but I think that's where Peter is. He's like looking for Harry. He's on like has like a drive to find Harry, even though we all know that Harry's in New York actually. I think that could be in it. I don't know. That's getting a little too speculative there.
could be cool.
But yeah, I mean, I dig the way the game looks. It looks fun. I'll say that. I'm not like jumping over the roof for it, but I think it's got a vibe. I'll say that's got style, and I think it's a great game to have at launch. It is at launch. We know that now, I guess.
Finding out after the fact and not putting that information in the event for some reason.
Yeah, not only this game, Miles Morales has been extremely vague too. I think that's something else to note because we don't really know what it is. I guess we do now. We know now. They kind of talked a little bit that it's like an expansion in a way. Now we're finding out that it's also for the PS4, which is interesting to me. Like,
I have a lot to say about that, but I'm gonna save that discussion for the end.
Okay.
Or like post-event talk. We'll talk about some of the extras that had to do with this. But...
Yeah. Next was Fortnite, right?
No. Fortnite was like way at the end.
Yeah,
Next was the one and only. Oh
yeah. Harry, but to me, it's the biggest surprise of the entire show.
It was on my bingo card.
It was on your bingo.
And I even called the social sim elements, baby. Let's do this.
No, I mean, I think the biggest surprise for me is the game actually looks really good. I like from that little bit of gameplay we got 3 years ago when that thing leaked. I was like, it looks okay. But you could tell like that was early in development. Like it looks significantly better now. God.
Well, that's because like whatever happened like a few years ago, like that just clearly was not supposed to even see the light of day. Like that was for like stockholders or something, like behind closed doors, like just proof of concept stuff. Like, look at this cool Harry Potter game we're making.
Yeah.
Please
should we keep making it? Yeah, that's like that kind of trailer. The coolest shot to me was riding on a hippogriff or whatever.
Oh yeah,
on Buckbeak.
Like on the open world.
Yeah, like that's a game I want open world. I want to like explore a wizarding world. I want to explore Hogwarts fully.
I don't know if I want to explore, but like just the idea that you can go off campus and like just go see the world on these.
Just
like,
knowing that our adventure takes us there too is interesting. Like I always loved it in the movies where like Harry's leaving Hogwarts. He's going with Dumbledore to this weird mountainside. Like I love that stuff. Awesome. That like made the movies more interesting, especially towards the end. And I think that's what's making this game kind of interesting. But I definitely want to see more Hogwarts. And I want that castle definitely fully explorable. Like I want that to be a huge environment. Lots of secret passages and crazy, secrets and characters that you can find and things like that.
This game is getting a lot of flack though, because of the J.K. Rowling stuff this week, and it's a shame.
It really is, and like I'm not gonna sit here and justify anything that she said. That she's a terrible human being for sure, but like
this is completely unrelated.
It's completely. That's like you're shitting on Daniel Radcliffe. That's like pointing your middle finger at Daniel Radcliffe. Like he didn't fucking do anything. Like
that seems way too far for me. Like I feel like I've never had trouble separating art from artist, and like in this case, the J.K. Rowling comments are like the furthest thing from my mind because I know she had no involvement on this project.
This actually makes me more excited, to be honest with you. I like the idea. Like there hasn't really been a Harry Potter story that hasn't been by her. And the fact that someone else is tackling a Harry Potter story is exciting to me. Like, that's what like Star Wars has failed to do, but what makes Star Wars interesting is that other people are working on it. Same with like Marvel and things like that. Like, to me, that's what Harry Potter should be on film, is like having different writers, having new people working on it.
For sure.
And this game is like it's a whole new medium to explore. And judging by the trailer, like, it looks super cool. I'm curious if it's like, how is it RPG? Are we like leveling up our character? How old are we?
I think there will be RPG elements.
I hope there is. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks good. I'm excited. Hogwarts Legacy? What is it called?
Yeah, Legacy, I think.
Hogwarts Legacy. No Harry Potter in the title.
I think that's right. Like, it's not about Harry Potter.
Yeah. What's next? Phenom's the leader of this conversation.
I honestly, this is where I started, like, this is where the event kind of just got less interesting. I think there was, like, after this, there was, I know there was Deathloop, which, same trailer, looks as good as it did last time. Didn't really need another trailer for this game, but it looks good. Especially
that the game's not coming out this year, too. It's like, what is the point of this trailer? Like, I would have shown this trailer at launch, like a launch, you know what I mean? Like, it feels kind of weird to like advertise a game that's not coming out for a long time, that we already know of too. Seems a little weird. Felt a little out of place for me. Still excited. The game looks great.
No, it looks good. I just not really where I would put a. No. After Harry Potter was Call of Duty, and that trailer or gameplay sequence looked pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. Call of Duty always brings it. You know, they always bring it. Those campaigns are crazy. That was a really cool set piece. That was sick. Some of the best sound design I heard from the event, like those explosions and things. Like, it felt like shit was happening behind me, and like it was nice. It felt cool. Sounded cool.
Yeah, Call of Duty, then Deathloop, then some sleep stuff. I think we got DMC5 and Oddworld. Just two trailers. I was like, whatever.
God, Oddworld, I just hate that game, dude. I really do. It might be amazing.
I don't hate it, but it's just like it's just not the thing I want to see when I'm tuning into possibly the last event for PS5 before launch. Like,
it's just when I hear that creative director talking about the game, and then I see the game, I'm like, okay.
I would have used that Oddworld segment to actually talk about a lot of the things they didn't talk about, which we will get into. There were quite a bit of missing things, and not even like, where's this game or something. Like, there were just fundamental things for console launch that were not at this event for some reason. Oddworld, DMC5, RE8, that showed up.
Cool trailer.
Yeah,
not much to say. I think we're gonna see more at TGS, so it's kind of just like a hype check kind of thing for RE. There wasn't really that much in the trailer that wasn't in the first trailer. Similar to like Deathloop, but I think RE8 just has a lot more hype behind it than Deathloop. Like, let's get real. So I think I think a trailer was warranted. I mean, that was like a big part of their last show, so I get it.
And then after RE8, I think we start moving into the very end, and we got Demon Souls gameplay, which looks pretty fantastic. And I'll be honest right now, I'm gonna tie this in a little bit to some news that came afterwards. But there were some rumblings afterwards or not even rumblings, like straight up just a misinformation on a PlayStation trailer that they released that said coming to PC as well. And when I saw that news, I was like, I don't know if I'm even getting a PS5 at launch, because if Ratchet & Clank is launch window, like months afterwards,
probably
if
March,
I can play,
March.
If Demon Souls is coming to PC, if this will tie in what we were talking about, Miles Morales and Horizon, both confirmed for PS4 cross-generation titles, I'm like, what is even the point of this console anymore? Like, you're starting to pull a Microsoft right now.
Getting that vibe for sure, yeah.
With these, lack of exclusivity. I was like, that's so weird for Sony, because Sony is usually really good with that, like compelling you to buy their system. Demon Souls is apparently not coming to PC, and apparently it is PS5 exclusive. For how long? Will it be coming to PC a year later, and that's where that mistake comes in? I don't know, but it being exclusive at the beginning for at least a year, that was enough. I pre-ordered a PS5 for it. Like, I just want exclusives. That's what I want from the consoles.
Yeah.
And that's why I buy consoles. Otherwise, like, I have a PC. Like, I wouldn't even bother anymore. But yeah, super excited for Demon Souls. It looks fantastic. I wouldn't pre-order a console if it didn't look fantastic.
It's Blue Point.
Blue Point, yeah, Blue Point. Like, Shadow of the Colossus remake, one of, if not the greatest remake ever made. It's just, yeah, I'm super excited.
So what you're kind of I guess we could talk about God of War. I was gonna jump off of that.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. God of War coming out next year. That's a big fucking deal. Like, that's huge.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, to be honest. Like, that's getting delayed
for
to
sure.
2022.
For sure.
Like March 2022.
The fact that we saw nothing is insane.
That's very strange.
That's insane. Unless maybe that's their fall game and Horizon comes out in the spring. That's likely. Ratchet March, Horizon May, June.
Well, if Horizon is PS4 cross-gen, like, I'm starting to think that game is actually coming out a lot sooner than I thought it was.
Yeah. I don't know. See, I mean, okay, so let's start talking about that then. It feels, I don't want to say disingenuous, but it feels in a way sort of like they've backtracked. Because in a recent interview, I think it was in the beginning of the summer, the PS5, the Road to PS5 video, Cerny made it a point in that video saying that we believe in generational leaps.
I love that.
And I love that too. That got me excited. And then I find out that Sackboy's for PS4, Miles is for PS4, Horizon's for PS4. And it just, I don't personally really give a shit. Like, I'm playing them on PS5. It doesn't really matter. But it feels weird. It feels like they've, like, oh, you know what? We see what Xbox is doing. You know, why don't we, you know, maybe these games can work on PS4 as well.
It's having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah.
They want that PS5 hype, but they also don't want to let go of that $100+ million fan base. Oh, my cat is awake. That 100 million plus user base that will be buying those games, especially Spider-Man. Like, no way you want to give up on that audience who
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure Spider-Man is the highest selling PS4 game.
High selling launch for sure. My main, it's Horizon that feels weird to me. Like, that game's, like, Spider-Man I get because it's coming out this year, you know, and it's technically a DLC for an already existing game that is on PS4. I kind of get it. But Horizon is weird. That's a sequel.
Well, no, both of those games are pretty high selling.
True. Like, but so was God of War. So is it safe to assume that God of War is going to be?
No, I hope. God, no. That would make me really, like, that would piss me off if that was the case, because I do not want these games being held back by PS4 hardware. Like, that was the one. That's why I wanted these games to be true next gen exclusives, because otherwise, like, what's the point?
Yeah, it's weird for me. Like, I don't know. I get a weird vibe. And then, of course, I mean, there's a lot more to talk about. I mean, there's a lot of weird messaging, a lot of lack of messaging, to be honest with you. A lot of stuff that just wasn't alluded to during...
Oh, we can talk about that, too.
Yeah.
Like, how there was no indication that any of those games were launch, and yet, like, afterwards I'm hearing, oh, Demon Souls is launch. Oh, Spider-Man is launch.
From Keighley.
Like,
from Jeff Keighley. Like,
where was that in the event?
It's not even like Sony backtracking and saying, oh, by the way, it's literally Jeff Keighley just coming out and tweeting that. I don't even know, like, he didn't discuss where that source came from. Like, is he just working with Sony with this or something? Like, I have no clue. I don't know. Weird. Just weird. And it was like right after the event too. Like 2 minutes after the event, I saw that tweet and I was like, what? Like, why wasn't that
did they pay Keighley to, like, say these things afterwards? Like, what I'm guessing, like, you were saying this as well, like, maybe they had this event planned so far ahead of time that, like, maybe
they just now got release dates.
They didn't know if they were getting, maybe. But, like, that seems like that's such an easy fix. Like, that's such a, I guess maybe it has to go through, like, a bunch of confirmations and, like, higher ups, like, approving the video and stuff.
Yeah. But even then, Sony should be the one coming out and announcing that stuff, you know? Not Jeff Keighley.
Why is Keighley saying this and not... Yeah, that's very strange.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. That's one of the weirdest console launch announcement things I've ever witnessed, to be honest with you. I've ever, like...
It feels very, not thought out. Like there was a lot of just really weird, bizarre, mixed messaging like this entire day. Like it's been a roller coaster of like, oh, is that happening? Oh, I guess it's not happening.
Yeah.
Oh, that's happening there. Where was that in the event? Like just a lot of weird announcements, just very strange. And we have to talk about this too, the pre-order fiasco. Like just like a couple months ago, I thought they were saying like, don't worry, we're gonna give you a big heads up when
Keely
these
tweeted that too.
are going up. And then like just earlier today, they're like, oh, they're going up tomorrow. And then it's like, okay, I guess it's coming out tomorrow. And then I see people pre-ordering them tonight. I just got my pre-order like a couple hours ago. It's like, oh, okay, so these companies don't care or something.
It's so this to me is I've never witnessed this before. I've never seen a console just like it's out. You can play. You can buy it right now if you want, and that's so weird to me. Like I wasn't prepared. I'm from a consumer standpoint. Like I wasn't prepared for that announcement. It wasn't even an announcement. People just started buying it on Amazon and GameStop, and it's so strange to me, and so backwards. If not announcing a date, you know, and not Sony not even coming out and saying these things, you know, at least not right off the bat. They like recently tweeted that the console is actually available to pre-order right now. It feels very, very weird, and I don't know. I'm pretty. It sounds weird to say I'm disappointed. I don't care that much. Like it's not really that big of a deal. But then again, it kind of is. Like Twitter's just a wild west right now. I'm like following insiders, and they're just like tweeting
for
links.
A lot of people, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and it is a big deal. You know what? I'll say it. It is a big deal because I wasn't prepared to make that purchase. I had work right after the event. They didn't announce a date when pre-orders would go live, it's like I might not have a PS5 because of Sony, because of their terrible messaging. Like.
Well, they'll probably have more stock later on. Like it's
I'm being over dramatic, but like
stock disappeared today. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's just it's very, very strange and just pretty unprofessional, to be honest. The way they handled the pre-orders.
I've never seen it like that before. Like this console generation just got super interesting this month. Like Xbox's prices leaking, Sony this debacle. The event itself.
I will say that even though like this was a fiasco, and even though like they just clearly weren't thinking it out very well ahead of time, I will say that like having an event and then having your prices and then saying, oh, pre-order tomorrow or pre-order like even later tonight, that's still better than Microsoft having their prices leaked and then being like, uh-oh, guess we should just announce this now.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely not. But I definitely think that Microsoft has been a lot more graceful in terms of how to respond. And like they responded immediately like an hour later and said like, okay, here's the price.
Had a jab earlier at Sony. They were like, don't worry, we're gonna tell you.
Yeah, they start throwing some shade. And then you look at the replies to that tweet, man. It's disgusting. Like that's the bottom of the barrel right there. Like
you never go in those threads.
Yeah, it gets bad. I was just like chilling on my break at work, and I was just reading through those, having a good laugh. It gets insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, and it's I think I don't know. It feels stupid. I don't think this was planned. I think that this is weird messaging. I think that Sony messed up. I believe that.
I feel like they straight up need another event because there was like, now I want to talk about what was missing from this event.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the biggest thing, like, just system, the features, like. If you are a normal person with like a 9-to-5, you're just some normie, just barely into gaming, but like you still buy PS4s. You
the
buy
average consumer.
The average consumer. What do you even know about this system? Like, do you know about the SSD? Do you know what that SSD does? Do you know what the 3D audio is? Do you know about the controller and like the features with the controller?
Haptic feedback and all that.
Yeah. Do you know about these things? Because if I wasn't following Twitter and if I wasn't following like these behind the scenes stuff and if I didn't even know what those things were, I feel like I wouldn't know about that. I feel like I would have no idea.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like Sony's having their cake and eating it too. It's like Demon Souls is gonna sell well, but let's get real, Miles Morales is gonna sell a hell of a lot more. And, and that's gonna sell well on PS4 as well as 5. So I don't know, it's kind of like, does Sony... It feels weird because, again, it's their previous messaging was, we believe in generational gaps. We want to show you the difference between the PS4 and the PS5. We want to show you that this is a leap. Games are going to look different. Games are going to play different. The menu's going to look different. The whole console, it doesn't even look like a PlayStation anymore. It's white. The controller's huge. They've already made that present. They've already discussed that in numerous occasions, talking about, you know, how they want.
But I want to know
difference.
other things. Like, I want to know. I want to know what the UI looks like. I want to know, like, how fast am I going to be able to switch between games? I want to know, what changes are you making to PSN? What are you changing with PS Plus?
What is that collection thing?
They're adding this PS Plus collection. Barely even covered it. Like, I feel like they're going a little bit too far into the direction of, like, really marketing central. Like, don't even really communicate what things are, just make cool trailers for them. Whereas like PS4, you would have like a 15-20 minute deep dive on trophies and PSN and like how they were changing it. Like, I want that. I want
to see the store. I want to know like what.
Yeah, store.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
It's very strange.
Do you think we'll get an event? Do you think we're gonna get a state of play 2 weeks?
I feel like we have to. I feel like we have to have an event that like says what those things are. Like that just it does not make sense to have a console come out and like I have no idea what that console looks like. When I turn it on, I should know what that thing is going to look like when it pops up on my TV.
Yeah. I thought we've seen a little glimpse of it with like Astro's Playground.
Not really.
Is that what it's called?
Barely.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like they're selling something and we don't even fully know what it is, kind of.
Well, that's the thing. That feels like part of their marketing strategy, but I'm just like, at some point you have to be a little bit clearer about like what's going on.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. It's like the pre-orders went up before the actual launch lineup went up. Before that was like set in stone, this is what the launch lineup is. So people were really buying this console before even knowing what they're going to be able to play on it. I mean, obviously you can assume like Spider-Man's probably going to be there. There's obviously that. But like,
no, you can assume that because I was watching that event and I'm like, is that not launch? You didn't put launch there. Like, or is this going to be like no console launch? And by the way, I saw that launch lineup. Pretty solid. Like that's
ridiculously
solid.
Oh yeah,
game.
I would compare it to the Switch. I think it's an incredible launch.
That is
lineup.
a great launch titles. Like just really like Miles Morales, Demon Souls. That's already like,
good.
Pretty great.
Yeah, good there.
You've got like the Sackboy, and then obviously some of these are cross-gen, but still.
And there's a lot of third-party stuff like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, and all that. Like again, cross-gen stuff, but like stuff that's great to have at launch. You know, like if I had to choose between which console to play Call of Duty on, and I own a PS5, why the hell would I buy it? You know what I mean? Like, it's really smart there in terms of like how they lined all these things up. It's so crazy that Demon Souls is the launch title. Wasn't expecting that. I thought it was Ratchet.
I kind of was, but like just the
lack of
first communication there was like just what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, for a moment I thought it was only going to be Miles. I thought that was it. Where's Godfall,
sure.
by the way? I did not see Godfall in that list, in that launch list.
It is.
It's there.
I don't know. It's there.
It's there. Is it free to play?
No, it's $70.
Paying $70 for that game. Can you believe that? God.
Yeah.
Man, those conversations are going to get ready for those conversations. Like, is this game actually worth $70?
Now I wanted to last kind of topic that I can think of, unless you have something afterwards. But like last thing that I want to ask you your opinion on. What do you think of that $499, $399 price? Like, what's going on for you with that?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Like the digital edition is I don't want to say a steal. Like it's fucking expensive. It's still very expensive, but like it's very enticing. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. It's $100 less. It's very enticing. Like
I knew it had to be $100 less. Otherwise, like there's no point. Nobody would just not spend the $50 extra for a disc drive.
Yeah, and it's really smart for Sony too. It's really smart. I've watched some analysts talk about it on Twitter and things like that. They've huge threads and things like that. Just like the amount Sony takes when you buy games from the store in comparison to getting a game at Target or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Even third-party games, like they make more money from third-party games instead of you buying. Like if you buy Call of Duty on the PS4 at GameStop, like Sony's not really seeing that much money from that. But when you buy Call of Duty on the PlayStation Store, they take a cut. I think 30% too, which is a lot. Especially for a game like Call of Duty, especially for a game like Assassin's Creed, which are there at launch, and you will be able to play them digitally. Or
Call of Duty launching with PS5 is a pretty big deal there.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna see bundles. You're gonna see like ad campaigns.
PlayStation Advantage.
Yeah.
You're gonna see that exclusive map pack come to PS5 first. It's gonna happen. I guess I'm happy with the price. I'm not. It's kind of what I expected. It's
weird to me though, because $4.99, $3.99 was like the obvious like pick. Like that's what everyone was saying. Like it was kind of just like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen. But then like, just for some reason they played this game of chicken for so long. Like Sony was so secretive about it. Like they didn't say anything for so long. They waited so long for Microsoft to reveal that 500 on their console. So eventually it starts like, as a fan, you start like thinking like, what does this mean? Like, why are they being so coy about this? Why are they not just saying it outright if they're waiting for Xbox? And it was underwhelming for me, because when you wait this long and you think they're waiting to do that undercut for Xbox, and then they just match Xbox's price, it's like, okay, well then why did you even wait that long?
What was the point? Like, why didn't you make a tweet the next day?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And like, even I don't know, it feels weird. Like, obviously, like I'm not sure what Microsoft's event was. The event leaked online. Like you can watch the event where they reveal the price and reveal.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it's.
Was there like games attached to that event?
No, it's just like Phil Spencer sitting on a couch with someone like talking about it, basically.
Okay.
Which is weird, but.
So that's all they had planned? There wasn't. They didn't even have like an actual event with like games planned for that price.
I don't know. I don't know. There might have been. I don't think that there is games for the Xbox. I really don't. Like, obviously you'll be able to play Cyberpunk and Call of Duty on Xbox as well, but I don't think that there's not really much to say.
Like, there's no news on Hellblade. They wouldn't have any news on Hellblade or Halo or anything. That just strikes me as really weird. Like, if those games aren't coming out at launch, I'd at least like to hear like, oh, don't worry, get a new update. This is what you're going to be playing like early next year. Like, that's very strange.
I mean, maybe they had one planned.
It's weird because like we're like here like criticizing the shit out of PlayStation, but like compared to Microsoft, I feel like they're still doing pretty much everything better. Like marketing wise, like the games you're actually going to be playing. Like I still feel no inclination to buy an Xbox, and I guess it's kind of weird to be negative on this event, but it's because like Sony is usually pretty damn good with these with setting expectations, managing like I don't really being professional and being curt about like how you're going to be interacting with the stuff that they're releasing. And now they're just like that. This was like a complete misstep here. The way they handled this.
It was a 180, honestly. Something else interesting, just to kind of note, people are buying PS5s right now.
Oh yeah,
and people are not buying Xboxes right now. So Sony already have the head start. Like
I bet I should say this too, because like I was saying, like why didn't they undercut Microsoft? Why didn't they go for that 450? Because they don't need to. Like 500, everybody's gonna be buying it anyways. Like why would they? They're making a $50 profit right now just for no reason. Like because everybody wants a PS5 anyways. If this was like in a losing generation, like the PS3, like coming off of that PS3 the debacle where like they launched it and like it was just a complete failure at launch, then I could understand being like, oh man, we need that, just cut it, 400, do it. But like now it's like they're coasting right now. Like they're coasting, they really on 100+ million users on PS4. Like I think they're good. I paid $500 for a PS5. Like I don't think they really need to do that.
I definitely, for sure. Like Microsoft is fighting an uphill battle, and they're doing all they can to like build trust.
Other than like the strategies that we were like no games, weird marketing in the names. Like I feel like they are offering some compelling services like Game Pass and
$2.99 for that.
$2.99
Series
on
S,
Series S,
yeah.
yeah.
No, like that's if you I would understand someone that wants a Series S. I'd be like, get it, dude. I get it. Like, hell, like when that was announced, I thought about it. I was like, shit, I could buy that. But yeah, I thought about Series S a little bit, and I think that's a steal. I think that's a good deal. But I also think that the PlayStation 5 digital is a ridiculous good deal as well. I really do. I think that's.
I do too.
I'm still considering it. I don't know.
They're selling out faster. The digital versions are selling out faster. I barely managed to get a disc version. I think my friend both. Digital was sold out. Like just.
That's crazy.
Nuts.
That's crazy. And that's the thing.
I'm
Sony's
really,
probably
like,
going to make more money from the digital than they are with the physical.
Oh, much more. Yeah. I'm kind of scared actually that like physical is just going to start phasing out like later on, like when they start releasing these like PS5 Pros and PS5 like Slims or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm scared that discs are just going to go away.
We'll see. I mean, it's inevitable, obviously. Like PS6, I doubt there's a disc drive. I really do.
Yeah, that's the way we're moving, and
Yeah,
it's scary because games are getting more and more expensive. And like, I really, me personally, like I buy used games a lot, and that's like how I'm able to afford a lot of games. So
yeah,
it's pretty concerning, but who knows?
We'll see. We'll see for sure. Anything else you want to bring up? I feel like we've covered a lot here. I feel like we didn't really talk too much about Fortnite on PS5, but I guess we'll save that for a separate video.
Oh, that's so hype. Let's go.
At launch too. You play that day one if you want to, as well as Bloodborne.
Isn't that the first Unreal Engine 5 game?
I don't know if they've made that transition yet. I'm actually not sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they made that transition. They showed like a trailer for it. They showed it running on 5. It's like great. The game is so like, it's not exactly a showpiece. It's like showing Minecraft running on PS5. It's like, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, I'm excited. This was a weird day. It was a day full of drama. It was a day full of dude, I'm not even joking. It felt like the Wild West on Twitter. Like I just saw people just trying so hard to get PS5s. Wario64 coming in and tweeting out so many different links. Nibel tweeting out links, just like so many different.
That's how I got it. I got Keely tweeted out. Keely was tweeting out stuff. He tweeted out some Amazon links. I was like, hurry!
Yeah.
I barely got in, but
just seconds. I probably need to put Keely on notification. I need to put a lot of people on notifications just to get a link, so I can hit that buy button. Crazy day. God, this is not how I expected this conversation to go at the end of this day, at the end of this event. Like I was not expecting to have like these kinds of conversations talking about. I did not expect people to already own a PS5 by the end of this day.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
But fun. I love this stuff, dude. I love weird shit. I love just weird things. Like I said, like it's been pretty freaking boring. Next gen wise, like in terms of like marketing, it's been very just like clear cut. Here's some games coming out winter. Get hyped. Okay, sure. And now it's just like shit is hitting the fan. People are buying PS5s. The Xbox price leaked. Yeah, it comes out in a few months, which is crazy. Like
it's crazy that the Demon's Souls is coming out in 2 months. Like that's pretty. Like it feels. Even though it's 2 months away, like November to me just sounds like an eternity away. Like that sounds so long. But
yeah,
it's actually not.
It's 2 months. Was it October? Yeah. Barely even 2 months.
Not even. Like
to the day. It's literally less than 2 months. That's insane. Comes out on the 12th, right?
Yeah, the 12th.
Damn. Did you pre-order Demon's Souls yet?
No. I don't even know if I'll have enough. I'll just have a PS5 sitting there on launch day. I'll just like play some Bloodborne on the
you
PS5.
play Astro's Playground. That's pre-installed.
Free?
Yeah, it's free. They said that.
Let's go.
We should have seen more of that game today. Like they should have showed that game like in the menu. It's ready to go as soon as you boot up your PS5. You see Astro's Playground, right? You know what I mean? Like they should have showed that stuff. Yeah. I really do hope there's like a 15-minute state of play or another weird little event.
There will be like some like get a brief look at the UI and trophies and new systems on PS5. Like there will be
Cerny,
something
like 15 minutes.
I really would have just liked that here. Like I don't need a separate event for that. Like just put that in here.
I really would have liked that before I buy the console. That's
Yeah.
kind of my main. Like, I would have loved to see that before people started buying the console. Like, it just feels strange to me that, like, I don't even know 100% what I'm getting out of the box. That's weird. That's weird. I remember seeing the Switch OS before the console was even revealed. I remember seeing that Switch OS. And
Was it?
Yeah, I thought it leaked. I think it leaked before it was revealed. I think it leaked after. I think it leaked.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but the Switch was very, very different kind of launch. Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of going in that route though. Switch of like just showing it like 2 months beforehand. Buy it.
Yeah. I mean, technically, that's literally what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All in all,
Switch had a bigger event. Like
yeah, that was
not as many interesting games, but like just they went deep dive on like here's the Switch, here's how these controllers work, here's like that's what I wanted from this event.
Yeah, I would, dude, make it boring. I don't even get into the nitty gritty. I don't even care. I would have sat for 20 minutes hearing Cerny talk about the controller. Like that doesn't bother me. Like I would have enjoyed that, to be honest with you.
I feel like there's a place for that. I feel like they're kind of just trying to get rid of that, but I feel like there is a place for that. I guess they kind of did it earlier this year with that like PS5 like tech breakdown.
The road to
but, like,
PS5, yeah.
I want that for like things that I can actually like understand, like these the UI and like what you're changing that I've gotten used to on PS4 for so long. Like, is it just going to be PS4 or are you actually changing things?
Yeah. I don't know. But Phenom Sage here, Matt, he already owns a PS5. So.
Yeah, I do.
He's cooler than me now. I'll say that. Your boy Famin Show does not own a PS5, and I don't.
You'll have one. You'll have one
I'm
before
sure.
launch.
I'm sure. Hopefully, I get that press release, that press copy of the PS5.
Yeah.
Streamer's copy.
Demon
Provided by
Souls
PlayStation.
day one streaming.
Dude,
That's gonna be fun on Twitch, like seeing like which games people are streaming.
it's gonna be Demon Souls. Actually, man, if Spider-Man's coming out, then it's probably gonna be Spider-Man.
I think it'll be a mix of both.
Yeah, man, Souls games have a huge presence on Twitch too, so yeah, like people are definitely interested. I'm probably gonna play fucking Astro's Playground, dude. I'm streaming that.
That's
Yeah,
Sackboy.
I'm streaming Sackboy. Everyone else will be playing Demon Souls and Spider-Man, but I'm gonna be chilling with Sackboy.
Only $50 for that Sackboy. Crazy how that's the cheapest games will be next
Yeah,
generation.
50 is the new
They
40.
said like 50 to 70, I think they said.
That's
That
crazy.
hurts, man.
That really
Shadow of the
does.
Colossus was like $40, and now they're releasing Demon Souls remake for 70.
$30 more.
Practically double. I'm buying 2 games for 1.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
we're moving in that direction.
Yeah.
It's pretty much confirmed. I think pretty much every game is going to be $70.
That hurts, man.
My wallet is weeping. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, you always have indies. Don't worry. Spelunky's $20. Don't freak out.
What if they start getting more expensive?
Oh, no.
What if they start charging like 30?
I mean, they
40?
probably will. I mean, I don't think it'll be a little slower, but I think eventually they'll probably get there. But I think by that time, like the actual value of the dollar will change. Like it's literally inflation, basically. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's pretty much all we're gonna talk about today. To anyone that has watched this, comment down below and give us your thoughts on what's going on right now. I'm sure by the time I upload this, which will be the morning after we are recording it right now, I'm sure there'll be some other weird news. I'm sure there'll be something else crazy happening in regards to the PS5. Who knows? I'll make a video about that accordingly, speaking from the past. But yeah, thank you so much, Matt, for joining me. This is a blast. This was fun.
Yeah, no problem. That was really fun.
Yeah, expect more discussions. I'm sure we'll talk more about some stuff. There's a Nintendo Direct coming up. Who knows? But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys are all staying safe out there, and party on. Peace out.